Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. I'm your host, Corinne. I own and operate the Woolly Thistle. This is my co-host, Maggie, who is our product development manager and many other things as well. And we're here on Monday morning. You'll see this the following Friday. So we just had the Easter weekend, and I purposefully have not asked how your weekend was to save it for now.
I know.
So how was your weekend? Did you have a nice Easter?
The weekend was lovely. It was full of, like, my sister came with her family, and my son was able to come home. And it was nice. So it was nice to have, like, a full house and lots of
activity.
Extrovert me was needing, like, a good dose of, like, people to fill up.
And are you filled up?
Yes, I think I am mostly filled up.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like there's still room.
Yeah, I think there is still room. It's really highlighted for me how much I need to just, like I knew that, but you know, you just sort of go through phases where you get busy and it's not the priority.
Yeah. So it highlighted for you that you need more of that.
I need to make sure that that's like
it's
on the calendar.
Is part of that entertaining? Like you really enjoy entertaining, or is it just being with your family and being yourself?
It's not the entertaining. Like I don't mind the entertaining. I don't mind. I like cooking for people and supplying them with food. But it's really just it's just the being. It's just the being. Even if I'm not like engaging with them, just being around them, I can just feel my battery going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really good.
That's
I can see my husband's battery going boom.
Yeah, right. They say opposites attract.
The introverts and the extroverts, but it's good. My sister and her husband are also an introvert extrovert, and we all get along really well.
Well, and that's it. I mean, you've known each other you've known your sister all your life, but you know, like you're really comfortable around each other, which does make it easier for sure. Yes. So Easter was fun. Did you do an Easter egg hunt or anything for the kids?
No, the kids are so big.
Yeah.
So we just sort of delivered obscene amounts of candy.
Same difference,
Yeah, and it was really good.
That's sweet. That's good.
And you? Did you have a nice weekend?
I did have a nice weekend. I thought the weather was very nice. It didn't snow. It was nice and bright. The snow was melting. And
Saturday, the sun came out.
It was bright. Yeah. So, I puttered around a lot, and I was on my own this weekend, which was totally fine. I am not an extrovert, so I used that time to just sort of fill my own cup. And lots of knitting Mojo right now. Good. So I used the time to do lots of fun knitting and some experimental stuff and that I can't talk about yet. But I have sock Mojo like you wouldn't believe.
Nice. Yes. So we're recording. Today's April 1st.
Yes.
And so it occurred to me this morning, April socks. I get to cast on my April socks.
I know, right? And I feel like, because I'm so cheaty, I feel like I've already knit my April socks and I'm ahead of the curve. And I'm cheating, but we'll go with that. So,
but you get to make your own rules.
I do. So do you. I mean, this is such a loosey-goosey sort of thing, but I have been thinking over the last several months that I really do need to knit socks because the ones I knitted, 10 years ago that I'm still wearing are getting a little threadbare. And it's just so it's perfect. I mean, if you only have to knit a bunch of socks every 10 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really enjoying knitting them. They're almost knitting themselves, which is really fun.
Great.
And we also started our Shawl KAL, which I'm sure we'll talk about too. Got some shawls back here. This is the Halligarth.
And the Aito shawl.
Yeah, and Plotulopi. This is in Rambler. But so housekeeping, just a reminder that shipping is free once you spend $125. We are the Woolly Thistle. We're an online yarn shop. You always remind me to remind people, and I never do.
Just in case they're new here.
Yes, like what is all this? So yes, we are the Woolly Thistle. We're an online yarn shop specializing in championing yarns from the UK and Europe that are woolly and typically non-superwash, and there might be a little bit of nylon in some of our socks, but really it's woolly wool, breed specific, or we know what's blended in there, and just all the lovely different hands that all these different wools have. We live for that, and that's what we do, and we bring it to you, and you guys love it too. So if you're new here, you're very welcome. Come check out all the things, and if you're returning, thank you for being here yet again. I realized too the other day that I started New Hampshire Knits, which was the original audio podcast 10 years ago this year.
Oh wow.
So all of this came from that.
Amazing.
Pretty much. I know, 10 years ago. Oh my gosh, yes. a lot can happen in 10
Yeah,
years.
because some of our cows originated when you were New Hampshire Knits.
Yeah.
Like the colorwork accessories cow started as a mitten cow.
Yep. That's right. I think that was, I think that was probably about it. But yes, we used to do that one, and it was always colorwork mittens. But yeah, I mean, that started just as a little audio podcast. I have no idea if you can even listen to it anymore. I don't know if it's still out there.
I think we uploaded a lot of the audio podcasts to the YouTube channel. So if you go far back, you'll find some audio only.
Yes, and that was back.
There.
Yeah, that was back when I was just doing my own little audio podcast, and I started to realize that, you know, I was getting a lot of really good feedback and people listening, and then I went to Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and the rest is history. So that's it. Yeah. All right. So from these small things, other things grow.
Yes.
Just a word of, you know, encouragement. And that reminds me to ask folks, if you would like to be on our podcast, you can do that. We would love to have you have a segment on here, and that's available on the website. If you go to connect in the menu, you can fill in a form saying that you would love to have a little bit on the podcast, which can be showing us your WIPs, your FOs, anything you like really that's knitting or textile related. Really, we would love to have you. This show is about us as a community, not just us as the Woolly Thistle and our yarns, but, you know, everyone. So we've had some lovely contributions in the past, and if you think you would like to give it a go, we would love to hear from you. Maggie, is there any other housekeeping-y things? We're not running ads. We haven't run ads for a long time, which is nice because we sponsor this show. So our hope is that you will check out the Woolly Thistle, see if you can find something that you love there. We have segments this week from...
We do have segments. I was also going to mention in the shop we have a Thistler Club program where you can earn points, which is basically like earning free yarn.
Yes.
So as you shop, you earn points, and then those points are redeemable for discounts off on your yarn.
All right. So who do we have on this show today?
So today on the show we have a segment with Caitlin, who is one of our staff members here, who is in Indiana, and she's sharing her shawl that she's working on for the cow, along with some fiber prep stuff.
Good.
Very interesting.
And we also have Rachel from Fairale. Our monthly postcard from Rachel is here. It's jam-packed. She has a lot going on. She has some Q&A. She has some out in the field with the sheep, and her knitting that she's been doing. And Maggie, there's a special little shout out for you. I love what she's doing, but I'll not spoil it.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna have to watch it right after we're done.
But I'm thinking it might be well, let's just say it's to do with socks, and it might be a good thing for my next month's socks.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
I need to figure out what I'm doing for April.
Have you not thought yet?
A couple of ideas, but I'm like,
yes, decision time.
Yes,
TikTok. Yes, so in addition to Caitlin and Rachel, we also have my interview with Marie Wallin, who is talking about her brand new collection and yarn. Both are called Aran, and Aran meaning the British Aran weight, which is a worsted weight here in the US. So that's a very clear distinction we need to make. But it's an absolutely beautiful collection. I was really, really excited to see it. There's some really lovely things in there, both color work and both texture and cables and and then her Aran yarn is actually 2 skeins of her 4-ply yarn twisted together to make this sort of double thickness yarn, which is Aran, and it's really beautiful, and it's coming out in 12 colors, all from the same colors that the 4-ply comes in. So yes, that is launching very soon, and as we have been looking at it a lot and really enjoying the yarn itself, I think Kelsey has been knitting some swatches, which I can't wait to see. We thought we would start talking about it with you too. So we have an interview with Marie, which is great. She goes through all the pieces from the collection and talks about their inspiration and just how she knitted them and specific details about them, so you can get your creative juices flowing with that too. I think it's going to be extremely popular. She always does well, but this is just fantastic.
Yeah, this collection is really stunning.
It really is. So do you want to announce the winner and then maybe talk about what you're wearing?
Sure.
Okay.
So every episode we give away 2 gift cards to the Woolly Thistle for $25 each. And the first winner today is Mariel M1.
Congrats.
And Muriel says, your next cow is going to be my excuse to knit the shawl I wanted to make and use Lopi for the first time.
Ooh,
that is fantastic.
ooh.
That's going to be a cozy shawl.
Yes, it is.
So Muriel, if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your $25 gift card.
If you would like to be in the running for a prize, just leave a comment down below and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we pick winners at random. So yes, well done, Muriel. Is it Muriel or Mariel?
Mariel.
That's a pretty name.
It is a pretty
Well,
name.
congratulations to you. We'll be in touch.
Mariel.
Or get in touch. All right, so what are you wearing
What am
today?
I wearing? I've worn this. If you've been here a while, you've seen this. This is the Hirne cardigan by Kate Davies. I knit mine in Rauma Strikkegarn.
Yeah.
I wear this a lot. I have worn this a lot. It's wearing extremely well.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
beautiful.
it.
You can't beat Strikkegarn. It's
you
lovely.
really can't. I really love this yarn.
Yeah, it's lovely. The definition is really good.
Yeah, and it really, like, I've worn the heck out of this all winter.
And it's still got its shape and
it looks
everything.
brand new.
Yeah,
It's
it
great.
does. It's lovely.
Great. And
With
then
your
I
little
did put
buttons.
Norwegian clasps on it,
Clasps.
which are available here in the shop.
That's true. Yes.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. I am wearing oh my gosh, now I never remember the name of this, but or the designer. We'll put it here. I'm sorry. But this is knitted in Ullcentrum
The
worsted weight,
Mhm.
yes, and it's at quite a loose gauge, so it's got nice sort of hangy drape. It's a very boxy shaped sweater. You knit the front separately and the back, but you could,
The
I
drop
think,
sleeve.
knit it in the round. Yes, a lovely drop sleeve. I love knitting this, and I love wearing it. It's very comfortable,
Mhm.
and the Ullcentrum is very soft. Very soft. And we also have this, I don't know if we have it in stock right now, but this is green on cream, but we also have green on grey, which is a really nice heathered green. And I would have knitted it in that, but we didn't have any, and I just wanted to get going, so I knit it in this. And then this is Donna Smith's Foula Snood, which is a nice big long scarf knitted in Jameson and Smith. Not a scarf, it's a, cowl. I love these double cowls, and I knitted this a few years ago, and I actually wore it to one of the Edinburgh Yarn Festivals and forgot I was wearing it and walked past Donna Smith. Didn't see her when I was walking by, and then our eyes caught, and I was like, oh my god, Donna Smith. She's like, my cowl. So that was a fun, lovely moment.
We do kits for the cowl in
and
the
we
shop.
do, yes, and we do stock the Ullcentrum worsted. I would recommend it. I think it's an underappreciated yarn if you want soft and being worsted weight, and it's up really quick.
Woolly soft.
Woolly soft.
Woolly soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is soft. But just not,
I think,
it's
which
not
is
cashmere.
very wearable. No, it's not cashmere. It's not like merino, but it's very wearable. It's not.
It's snuggly and
it's
comforting.
funny. I think I was wearing my Ullcentrum sweater last time.
Oh, funny. Oh, maybe that's what got me going on this
It's
today.
a great yarn.
Yeah. All right. So, are you knitting on anything?
I am. I've knit on a few things.
Let's
see.
see.
Here. Do you want to see what I'm working on?
Yeah.
So I can.
Or do you have FOs?
I do.
Oh, well, what should we do first?
As I head here, I won't. You know what? Instead of like going off camera, I've got my tote bag.
I love that.
My Harris
It's
Sweet
beautiful.
bag. So my sister came up for Easter, and I gave her a little tour. It occurred to me she'd never seen the shop.
I know,
I
right?
don't think
I
she's
wasn't
seen the
here.
shop
I'm
at
sorry,
all.
Marie.
And so she came in, and she couldn't resist. She ended up purchasing.
Oh, fantastic!
The purple.
Oh,
Harris Sweet
fantastic!
carry-on. So
yes.
then we got home later, and she saw me pull out my knitting bag, and she's like, "Wait a minute."
She didn't know there was a bigger one.
Or at least she hadn't seen them in the shop. I'm like, oh yeah, we still have some in the shop. And she just looked indignant, but she really liked her
Well,
bag. So
yes, this is a good starter bag.
But it was just, the look on her face was priceless.
I have mine here too, which I am loving. Loving. Oh,
I
stuff
like,
in there.
you can even fit your book in there.
Oh yeah, I've got my book in there. This is my little daily quotes and stuff.
Nice.
And yes, there's all kinds of good stuff in here. There's a lot in here.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Well, thank you for shopping with us, Marie, while you were here. I hope you had a fun time.
Yeah, her husband came with her. It was cute. They just all walked. I showed him around.
Yeah.
And Margaret packaged up her order all pretty.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
it's good to know you.
Yeah, I know, right? So I'll show you what I cast on for the Shawl KAL. We'll start with that. And
I
then
don't
can
know
show
what
you
you're
some
knitting.
So I started. I don't know the name of this. I'll pull the name out in a minute. But it's from Kate Davies' Davaar book.
Is it the North maven or
Here, if you
something.
want to look at that, I will show you.
Ooh, I tried to
From
knit this
book,
one time.
and it's the Minke Maxi.
Oh, okay.
It is this one.
Ooh,
So
I love it.
I'm using Daughter of a Shepherd Heritage. And then the pink is Marie Wallen's British
Oh,
Breeds.
lovely.
So I thought that would be like a nice little,
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like brown and pink?
I know it makes me think of chocolate and raspberries.
Right. So I thought I'm
Favorite
just working
combo.
on that. I started that last night and I love those first shawl.
Oh, I know,
Just
because
goes
there's
so
nothing.
fast.
Yes. So it doesn't look like it starts with a garter tab.
It does.
It does start?
It does in fact start with a garter
Ooh,
tab.
well,
It's
nice
just a very sort of
job.
small garter tab.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be
and
beautiful.
It is, and it really kind of opens up nicely, and it'll be really pretty.
Well done,
So
you.
she
Another
does-
Kate Davies. I love
Another
it.
Kate Davies, yeah. I mean, who's? If you're not a big fan, I don't know.
I
I
know.
don't know. Maybe you haven't seen the stuff yet.
Yeah, exactly. Kate Davies' designs are beautiful.
They really are.
Yeah.
Like I flipped through all the books. I still need to get back to Sark and knit through more of those.
Yeah.
But every book, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta knit that.
I know. Well, and I love all her essays. And
I was
just,
flipping through and
so good stuff.
showing Marie what I was gonna knit. I think I have to knit.
Look at that hot
I
water
know,
bottle.
but look at the not the water bottle, the sweater. I want a bigger picture of the sweater. This one. Look
yes.
at that.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Just
I
so
know,
good.
just so classic
wearable.
too. All right, so you cast on for your shawl. Good
So
job.
I cast on for my shawl. So I cast on, it was a little late. Cast on day was on Friday, and I didn't get to it on Friday, which is okay. So if you haven't gotten to it yet,
you can start.
Still time to jump
Yeah,
in.
for sure.
And yeah, so I started yesterday because I was finishing. I was like right at the end of a couple small projects, and I wanted to get those done.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else you want to show right now?
I have a couple FOs. So if you want to show us what you're working on.
Yeah, so I did not cast on Friday.
That would be amazing.
Woo! So why is everyone so slow? No, those of you who have been here for a while will recognize this is last year's, and it's not finished yet. So, but I am actually much further
For those who
through.
are new, let's explain what this is.
It's a full-on hat. It's the Hansel hat by Gudrun Johnston. It looks like a giant shower cap the way I have it right now. It's knitted in Jamieson and Smith. This is off a cone, and it's still very squishy.
It is.
And then this is the border, which these are sort of my happy, I don't know, they kind of remind me of like sweet pea colors or something. And I'm actually
Zinnias.
like zinnias.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe you've just named it. And I'm much further along through this border than I actually remembered.
Yeah, because you really only
I'm more
have
than
a little
halfway
bit-
through. Yeah, that's the halfway point there.
Are you gonna are you doing the?
I am.
Right.
So I am taking liberties, and I'm going to just finish this shawl instead of starting yet another shawl, because I'm not winning any prizes. I'm just, being part of the thing.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. And have you seen all the shawls being cast on Facebook? It's great.
It is.
And in
great.
Ravelry too. So thanks if you're knitting along with us. Hope you're enjoying it and chatting away with all the friendly folks out there. So yes, I'm going to keep knitting on this and hopefully finish it, because this is the square one. So there is a lot of knitting there.
There is, yes.
Yeah. So that's what I decided to do, but that was fun.
That's going to be amazing when it's done.
I can't wait.
That all blocked.
Yes, and then blocking it. I don't have the traditional blocking board. That would be really nice. The
That
big
would be.
square peg thing. Maybe I could make one. I mean, there are instructions how to make them.
There are.
I think about
Kate
that.
Davies has
Yeah,
one on
she
her,
does.
her blog.
Yeah. So anyway, and I'm using my Chowgoos. This is where these have been all year, and I forgot. I've been looking for them. I was like, oh. So yes.
That's not just me that does that.
No, in fact, these are interchangeable. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I have missed them from time to time. Totally forget what things are where. All right, so that's that. So I'm happily knitting on this. And I have a couple of FOs too.
Let's see.
Oh, you want to see mine?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so this is my cheat pair of socks found.
Cheap socks are not the official name.
No, this is Hermione's Everydays, but I think I had one of these knitted and maybe the toe. Oh, my feet look really small. Oh, wait. Trying to fit my foot on this bit. Oh my God, did I not knit these big enough?
That is too funny.
And so, they are quite small. That's my feet for you. So yes, West Yorkshire Spinners ends not woven in, and just you know, what do you call that?
Heel flap and gusset.
Thank you. Yeah, really enjoyed knitting these. Very nice. This is West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply. I don't have the leftovers here, but still a good chunk left, maybe 40% left. So very happy to have these. These will wear like iron. They're 75 British wool, 25 nylon. So these really will last. And then I finished my If You Go Out.
Oh, nice.
Socks. And
such a pretty pattern.
Again, no ends woven in. But
That's all right.
I think I did stitch them. I just didn't have scissors to cut them. You know what I mean? All right, so these are Virginia's If You Go Out socks, or as I would say, If You Go Out. And they're lovely. And this is in Rambler in the wild clover. Just lots of mistakes, but thoroughly enjoying the lace work on that. It was, yes, you can see that there's some.
It's okay.
It's totally fine.
We don't need to point out the mistakes.
Oh, but you know.
It's going to be in the shoe.
It's going to be in the shoe. And I really,
like they're just beautiful.
Can't wait to get these on my feet. So yes.
Yes.
So I have 2 pairs of West Yorkshire Spinner socks finished, but I haven't shown you the thing I'm most excited about.
Okay.
Let me show you that. It's a whip. It's not an FO.
Ooh.
Right?
I really like that.
I know. Me too. Wait, hold on. I'm doing. God, blimey. What am I doing? All right, so does it go like that? Ish? No?
Yeah.
Like that. So I'm a top-down girl.
Okay.
And look what I have here.
I love that.
Oh!
I love it.
These are knitting themselves. Like, I cast on, visited with a friend and got down to about here.
Wow.
Yeah, like just...
Very potato chippy.
Very, very potato chippy. So these are my own self-striping socks. And what I like about that...
So not so self-striping.
Manually self-striping.
Exactly.
Manually striping. But what I like about that is I can control going around and under and keeping the width the same. So these are just 5 little rows of color with the base in between. The base is just some leftover John Arbon Exmoor sock.
Okay.
Yum, yum, yum. That was what my other pair was that I finished.
Yeah.
So, and then the colors.
Which it looks really similar to the Rambler.
It does,
natural.
which is, you know, and I might actually knit the second one in Rambler as the base. We'll see how close.
Yeah.
But all the colors in here are Rambler colors. And they
So
just
good.
go together. These are all leftovers from other projects.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so let me show
They're
you.
so pretty.
In my big bag, carry-all bag here. You know, down at the bottom there is a ton of different, what's this? Oh, that's secret knitting. I'm not showing you that. But yes, so all the different balls are, or some of the balls are in there. Yes, so don't you love these?
I do love those.
So these are sort of my next socks as it is anyway, but I think I'm going to get finished these really fast.
Yeah, you're on the home stretch on that one.
Yeah. And I also found, God, I could go on and on. I also found that knitting 2 different socks at the same time was very, very potato chippy, because I would get down to here on this one, and then I didn't feel like doing the heel, so I'd go down to the heel on this one. Then I did both heels at the same time.
Okay.
And then I finished one after the other on the foot. And it kept me very interested and feeling like, you know.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, I knitted these as a pair and then the other ones as a pair. And
Very
then
nice.
they go together. You just got to make sure that you keep the actual pairs similar to each other.
Yeah.
Which would be a temptation. So yes.
Very nice.
I'm loving it.
Very nice.
Very happy.
I don't have any socks with me.
Oh,
I will give
what's
you
your
back your
FO
socks.
then? I thought it
So
was...
my FO.
Wait,
Here.
what socks?
So I did finish my March socks. I didn't bring them with me.
Have
Because they were almost done last time.
But have they seen them?
I can bring them next time. I didn't bring them. I can put a picture here because I did share them. I knit them with Garth and Orr Snowdonia, and I did a little color
They're
work at the
gorgeous.
top. They're really,
Yes.
really pretty. I did block them. I haven't worn them yet because I was going to show them today, and then I didn't put them in my bag. So I'll put a photo right here.
All right, and bring them next time.
And I will
Everybody
bring
wants
them.
to see.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
really, really pretty. I
Yes.
will bring them next time. So
Surprised
sorry
me.
about that. And it's April 1st, but I haven't cast on, so I'll cast on
a pair of socks.
But
You'll keep us in suspenders because we don't know yet what you're going to knit.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured it out yet myself. So,
are you knitting socks with us, by the way? Because this is very loosey goosey. It wasn't even our idea. I think some people in the group
it was Jean Pasley's idea. In our Facebook group, I believe it was Jean's, and then a bunch of people were like, "Yes." Sign me up, and I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying it.
It really it hit me just right.
Yeah,
definitely. I thoroughly
think too,
enjoying
it's added a nice sort of like regular routine to my knitting, but it doesn't feel boring at all
or big, and
Yeah, I mean, I have found that really the pacing of it, I'm usually done by the third week of, and that's without a lot of. I'm not stressing about these at all. They're just kind of getting done.
Exactly. This is a no stress.
Yeah.
And you can cheat. Like I'm cheating. I'm totally cheating. Like I'm finding socks that I started but hadn't finished yet.
Rules. It's knitting.
Yeah. And it's bringing so much mojo.
Yeah.
I love that.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying too. Like I have found the yarn harlot Stephanie Pearl McVie has been knitting socks also this year, and she said she had a post where she said if she knits like 10 rows a day on a sock, she knows that she'll safely finish within plenty of time.
Yeah.
And so just kind of having that as a guide has been really helpful for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's lovely. I am really enjoying it. And I'm not stressing about it if they don't get done.
Right.
They don't get done, but...
So I don't have socks.
What do you have?
I did finish a hat. This is the third Brock beanie that I have finished, and that was hand spun.
Oh wow!
That was that skein of hand spun I showed a couple of. So all three hats used the same skein of hand spun. It was like a 4-ounce worsted.
Oh, it's so squishy.
I might keep this one. The other two have gone in the gift pile just because.
Yeah.
I only need so many hats, but I love the colors on this one.
What about the black?
The black was just a Patton's worsted weight that I've had in my stash for so long.
Pretty.
I'm so happy that it is no longer in my stash.
I love that green.
Yeah.
That green.
I love how
the purple and blue.
That was it was a 4-ounce bag of fiber from Into the World, their bits and bobs, which it was just all random, scrappy.
Yeah.
And this project was perfect for it.
Excellent.
So the Brock beanie is an Isolde teague pattern, and she has you can use many colors. I just used 2 colors and then alternated the
slip stitch or
no. It's color work, so you're
just stranded then?
Yeah, it's just really simple, basic pattern.
So squishy because of that worsted weight. Oh.
And it's a great pattern because she gives you no matter what weight you have. So if you want to, you can knit it in fingering weight, sport weight.
She gives you all the numbers.
Weight, all the numbers.
Fantastic.
Great.
Lovely job.
So that is done. I'm at this point I'm also averaging about a hat a month, which is kind of fun.
You know, when you're used to knitting a lot of sweaters and stuff, going back to the small things, just boom, 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 does make a difference.
And then she got her dress.
I forgot.
She got her dress.
Her little pinafore is adorable.
I had to finish her little dress before I would allow myself.
For me? Thank you.
She's just so cute.
She is beautiful.
I love her.
Oh, I love her too.
Her dress, the body of her was knit with 1 ball of J&S 2-ply and a ball of Bichet Bouche silk mohair. Thus her little fuzziness.
Fuzzy wuzzy.
And then her dress is knit with Rauma Strikkegarn. And then I think the purple was some Harrisville designs.
Yeah,
it was deep stash.
Yes. So, it's a pinafore. It's a cute little, and her little I-cord straps.
Yeah, they're not really I-cord. They're similar to I-cord. The pattern is really similar. And I did block it, even though for those who watched last time, I got to the straps and realized, as the pattern said, go down to the smaller needle. And I was like, I've been on the smaller needle. It blocked out. She's just fine. I did have to redo this bind off to like a nice stretchy bind off so I could get it over her bottom. But I love her. She is the sweetest thing.
Have you named her?
In the book, she's called Aggie. So I've just been calling her Aggie.
Her little head is the cutest thing, in her ears.
Adorable. There is like a little jacket that you can make for her, but I think it's time to cast on the donkey.
The donkey's coming next. You know what you could do is a tiny little hat for her. Yeah. Wouldn't that be sweet? That wouldn't take long.
That would be really, really cute.
Oh!
I know.
She's sweet.
So that's what I was doing.
And I think we did just order more Moosh and Friends, or maybe they just came in, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that's from Moosh and Friends, which is the Lina book, and
So
quite
cute.
a lot of people.
So Nana Duck now has a friend.
Yay!
So they're so cute.
Talking of ducks, though, I have been seeing all the ducks coming back to my area of New Hampshire. Driving along, you'll see them flying in. There's water, and they're just flying in, coasting in with their feet up, and then they go. Oh, it's lovely. So I love Nana Duck too.
Yeah.
I love ducks.
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah. So the donkey's next?
I think the donkey's next. Yeah, I pulled out yarn. I think I have enough yarn. I'm using stash. I think it's Rauma Strikkegarn.
Yeah.
So similar weight.
Lovely, lovely. So Maggie, as is our usual, we are talking like crazy, and we've got tons and tons of other contributors to share in this episode.
Oh, yes. Well,
yes. So
I think let's head over to Caitlin then.
Yes, let's go visit Caitlin.
Let's see what Caitlin is stating for the Shawl KAL.
All right.
Hi everyone, it's Caitlin. I'm so happy to be on the Shopcast again with you this month, and have lots to talk about. I'm part of the Woolly Thistle team. I work remotely from Indianapolis, so I am coming in from there, and we are 1 week into the shawl knit along, so I have a project to show you. I'm pre-recording but have cheated and started early, so I do have something to show. And then I've got a whole bunch of woolly stuff behind me. I wanted to talk about different preparations of fiber and how that translates into different kinds of yarn based on a few sort of new things in the shop that got me thinking about that. So I'm wearing my Ramona cardigan. This is by Elizabeth Smith, and it is in Peace Fleece worsted, which we've just gotten back to the shop recently. It's worked back and forth, raglan, cardigan. It's got a fun, texture because of the yarn, and then a broken rib hem here. I've worn this for years and just love it. Mine is in the Kalinka color, which I don't think is one we're able to get right now, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about Peace Fleece shortly, but wanted to tell you what I've got on. So first I want to show you what I'm making for the shawl knit along. Like I said, we're 1 week in. It started on March 29th, and I started mine early. I'm actually recording before cast on day, but I'm already this far. I couldn't decide what I wanted to make for the shawl knit along, but I had these yarns and just felt like getting a design on the needles. So this is something that I'm making up as I go. I found a pretty stitch pattern in a stitch dictionary, and it's a mosaic technique, and I've tweaked it just a little bit to fit into what I wanted the shape to be. It's just a basic, you start with a garter tab cast on, and then you just kind of increase into these kind of like two triangle shapes which come together to make a bigger triangle. So it's symmetrical, and you're only knitting with one color at a time because it's mosaic. So it's the gray stitches are the ones that get slipped over top of the brown layers to make those sort of diamonds. And I don't exactly know what the rest of the shawl is going to look like, but I can hold up the yarns I've got to show you what I'm thinking. This is Jagger Spun Woolful. It's their Black Welsh Mountain Dorset Horn worsted weight, which is something that came to the shop not too long ago. It's available in a gradient of 5 colors, from white all the way to this darkest brownish gray. So I'll show you all the colors, but I got some samples from the Woolly Thistle in the mail and have about 56, 58 grams of each color. So I'm just going to see what I can do with them. I might add in another skein of something, but my goal is to use about 50 grams of each. So yeah, I started with the lightest gray and the darkest color in this 2-color combo. So those are here. I'm working my way down to having used 50 grams of each. Then I'm thinking I'll do another section once I've gotten down to 50 grams, or having used 50 grams of each of those. Then I'm going to do a section with the next darkest gray as the background. So it's going to be kind of a subtle shift to the next, and then do the white as sort of the corrugated in place of the dark brown. And then I'm going to transition to the next darkest gray. So that'll be kind of another subtle shift in the diamond shapes. And then this is a skein I had of Ullcentrum worsted. It's the 3-ply in this kind of goldish color. And I might do that for the kind of corrugated section of the last piece. And we're just going to see how big it gets and kind of how it goes. I might change up the way the diamonds are in each section. I'm not sure, but that's been a lot of fun to, yeah, the shape just kind of works, and it's been pretty intuitive. So that's been a fun design to get started on. So I hope your projects are going well for the shawl knit along. If you haven't joined in, it's not too late. Shawls come in all shapes and sizes and all weights of yarn. They're really versatile. So even if you want just the simplest little project, but to jump in and feel like you're knitting along with the theme of the community these days, do feel free to do that. And then next I wanted to show you a few things that I got recently. Yeah, we'll grab this one first. This is fiber, unspun, but intended to become yarn. And this is what piece fleece looks like before it is spun. I got this. We don't have spinning fiber at the Woolly Thistle right now. We did have some in the past, not at the moment, but when I heard we were getting piece fleece back, I thought, you know what, I just want to have some of the fiber to see what it looks like. And I thought this would be an interesting demo to show you what it looks like before it's spun, because this is such an interesting yarn. It's a mix of Navajo, I think it's Rambouillet, and Texas mohair. And you can see a little bit of the mohair in the like shinier, straighter fluff in there. I don't know if you can see it in my sweater too. Sort of see the halo. And then what makes piece fleece so fun to me is that it's all these heathered colors and a little bit of like almost like neps or nubs in there. Oh, I wish I had backlighting so you could see. This is the Latvian lavender color, and this one here is the desert tundra color, which has so many colors in it. So fun to see. There's that one. And also have this one we weren't able to get in this batch, but this is called Anna's Grasshopper. It's one of my faves. And this I've knitted with before, and this is what the yarn ends up looking like in the end. So you can see it's still got some flecks of color in there. This is a preparation that's used for woolen spinning. It is just kind of this messy web of fiber, and this comes right off the carder. So I think there is so much to learn about fiber processing and all the collection of machines that the fiber goes through. Even for a minimally processed yarn in a mill, that's a pretty small operation, there's still a lot of steps. So first it gets washed or scoured and gets some of the grease and the dirt removed and stuff, and then it goes through a picker, which is like a big fluffing machine. And if you've seen our blog post on Jamiesons of Shetland when Mary Claire visited there, the picker spits out the fiber into this room, and even at that point, for a yarn like this, the wool has already been dyed the different colors, and then it gets jumbled together in this room, and then it gets sent through the carder, which is a series of rolls with teeth on them, and basically from there the woolen style yarn goes almost right to the spinning frame and gets turned into yarn. So there's still a lot of jumbled fibers in there. You've seen this is like a net of stuff. Not much direction to any of the fibers, so it adds a lot of air and a lot of fluff, a lot of character, and that will be the same for yarns like Jamiesons of Shetland, Jamieson and Smith. I think Rauma is a woolen style mill. So the lofty, fluffy kinds of yarns tend to be woolen spun. And there is also a difference between like the style of the spinning frame, if I understand correctly. So yeah, some of the mills around kind of the region of the woolly thistle are Harrisville. That is the miller for Peace Fleece. So that's a woolen prep and spinning technique. I think Green Mountain also does woolen. And if you listen to our last Shopcast, you'll have seen Mary Jean Packer from Battenkill Fibers talking about our Rambler yarn and how their mill is more of a worsted style. She called it semi-worsted. And semi-worsted means, as far as I understand, it is prepared like the woolen, but then it goes through some more combing or drafting before it goes onto a spinning frame. And the spinning frame is probably also calibrated differently to kind of pull out the fibers. And then I think their prep is missing a couple of steps to make it technically completely a worsted style yarn. But I have an example of a worsted style yarn and fiber here from John Arbon, and they actually both Battenkill and John Arbon, if you search their channels, they each have a mill tour, a virtual mill tour. Battenkill's is on YouTube. I think John Arbon's is on their own website. They walk you through every step of the process if you really want to dive in and learn more about each machine. But this is worsted style. This is actually the fiber that we used to sell a couple years ago. This is Yarnadelic, which we have as a yarn, a heavy fingering weight yarn. But this is what the fiber looks like before it's spun. This is technically called combed tops, and it is very combed and very straight, very smooth and silky and drapey compared to that web of Peace Fleece. It's like having silky fine hair versus curly hair. And I'm just gonna find a little bit of the end to show you what it looks like when you pull it apart. It's lovely. I love both styles, but this is just, yeah, I don't know. It's really cool to see. This is the colorway, the Beautiful Ones. And I don't have this in the skein to show you, but it's a really beautiful color. Yeah, still gets dyed before it's sent through the whole process. So that's how you get such a beautiful heathered color in there. But yeah, this is what the more worsted style preparation looks like. And I don't have a skein of that yarn, but I do have one that John Arbon mills to show you. And that is something that's coming very soon to the Woolly Thistle. We've started talking about it. This is Marie Wallin Aran yarn. This is new, coming soon, and it is milled by John Arbon. So you can see, I imagine it's a different blend of wool to what the Yarnadelic is, but I imagine that, yeah, the two must look pretty similar. This must look similar to that when it's in the still in the unspun phase. So anyway, it's gonna have some softness to it and still a little bit of fuzz because they love to keep the character of the yarn in it no matter what preparation. But yeah, it's a 4-ply, as in it has 4 plies. So it's essentially a double thickness of what we're used to with her British breeds 4-ply fingering weight, which is technically 2 strands. So anyway, it's called Marie Wallin's British Breeds Aran. It is, from an American perspective, actually more of a worsted weight, and then it's worsted spun by John Arbon. So it's a lovely example of a worsted style yarn. And then just to kind of make things a little more complicated, I wanted to show you another yarn that we carry. This is Junction Fiber Mill. I've used up some of it in one of my hats. Junction Fiber Mill Making Tracks, and they are a worsted style spinning mill, but they have a very different technique for starting out with the color. You can see this has more of a color progression to it rather than a heathering, and that is because they start with something that looks quite different. They have their blend of yarn, and then they've already processed it into the combed top as just like a white, I don't know the exact percentage of different types of wools. I think it might vary, but what they then do when they have their combed top is, and I don't have a version of theirs, but I do have something that looks similar to what they do. They dye the big white combed top with sort of a tie-dye effect, like something sort of like this. And this is in a little braid just for safekeeping, but it's, yeah, it's a fiber. This is Rambouillet from a farm in Maine, Four Hearts Farm. I got this at a fiber festival. So they'll dye it in this stage, and then they send it through their drafting machine and then their spinning frame, and then they end up with something like this, with those color changes kind of happening in more of a striping effect rather than heathered, kind of consistent throughout. So anyway, I hope that gives you kind of a fun look into the fiber processing and color manipulating world. Go check out those videos I mentioned if you want to learn more. And also Google if there are any mills around you. There might be some little mini mills. Even alpaca farms might have a little mill. It's fascinating to go on tours if they offer those, and just to see more about how yarn is made. So, all right, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed seeing Caitlin's. It's so interesting seeing, I love her shawl design. She's going, she's using those design vibes and working on a beautiful design. I'm curious to see how it ends.
Yes.
It'll be really, really good.
Yes.
And seeing the fiber. So she shows the fiber for Peace Fleece. And then so it's interesting to see it like before it's spun, and then the Peace Fleece and how it spins up. It's really great. So
yeah.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin. Enjoyed that. And now we are entering the zone of what's in the shop, which is one of our favorite bits of this Shopcast. Yeah. And in my hand here, I'm holding some beautiful multicolored self-striping actual or more just
they're not really striping. We do have in the shop, there's photos of what each of these look like knit up from WYS.
So this is brand new to us from West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's a DK white sock yarn, nylon, I'm sure.
Yes, there is.
Here.
It's, I want to say 75-25.
Yep, there you go. I see that 75, 25 nylon. Yes. So if you want to cheat,
it's not cheating.
This is good.
Yeah,
well,
these
yes.
are, so they'll make really nice DK weight sock.
Which, you know, you think of putting in welly boots or bigger boots, you know, you're not going to fit this in your shoes necessarily.
I'm really excited about these. My feet are always cold. So
these
at some point this year, I will be trying this to see like how I like them.
This colorway is appropriately called Jazz, and it's a great...
So all of the whole line is music themed. And so that one was Jazz. This one is Pop. Also, you'll notice there's a QR code on every skein so that you can download a free pattern from WYS.
That's a nice way to do it. This is Rock, and it's grays and reds.
Yeah, and the blues. I mean, come on.
But of course.
So pretty.
They
feel really good.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah.
This is Punk, which has got some neon yellows.
Yeah. And really each ball is 150 grams.
Right, which is enough to knit a pair of decent length socks, yes.
Yep. And then these are Soul.
Oh, nice. And of course, West Yorkshire Spinners is out of Yorkshire in England, and they're an independent mill doing, you know, all their things. We stock their signature 4-ply. We also have some of their naturals.
Yeah.
What do we have in right now?
We have their Jacob.
Right, which is lovely.
It is really
Isn't that fun?
These
and a very quick knit.
Yeah.
And of course, you don't need to only knit socks with it. You could use this to knit anything in DK weight.
Yeah.
It's soft.
These would make fun hats too.
Yep. Very nice. So yes, happy to have those. What else do we have, Maggie?
We have brought in quite a few new things. So first of all, we got a restock of Scottish Yarn Festival.
It's doing so well. It is beautiful. Sorry.
Nope, I was going to say, so we got a restock of this along with 2 new colors. So we got in the color Ines. And I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. Ines and Sinclair, which is just Sinclair.
Sinclair.
Right? That's what I said.
Not Sinclair. Sinclair.
There you go.
There you are. Yeah. That's very American. Sinclair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my
I am American.
I know. But in Scotland, we're like, that's so American. Like the clan,
Thank you.
the clan I'd be associated with, we'd call Lament, but here's Lamont.
Okay.
Which I think is so cute and
That
funny.
is really
yeah. But these are beautiful colors,
They
and
really are.
they are doing very well. This is one of my
They are.
favorites.
There are some really gorgeous patterns too. I saw Eva. Eva did a live. Eva is the owner of Scottish Yarn Festival, and she did. I happened to catch on Instagram. She was going live, and I was like, okay. And she was wearing a really cute slipover that was made. I think the one that she was wearing was knit with. I'm not going to say that.
Colhoun.
There you go. And it looked really gorgeous, and it's called the Irene slipover.
Is it a
it's
vest?
in testing right now, so it is. It's a vest.
Ooh, so we
It's
need
in
to. Oh, it's
testing.
in test, so it's brand new design.
Yeah.
Ooh, we'll need to
so,
check that out because we do have a vest cal coming.
We do. So I can put, I forget the name of the designer. We can put it here and give her a little shout out so that you can also be on the list to know when this pattern releases. It's really, really pretty.
Yeah. Eva just had her Scottish showcase event a couple of weekends ago, so I hope you survived all that because it must be so much work putting together.
She was talking about it in the live about what it takes to actually wrap up the event.
Yeah.
Because
there's so
she
much.
was saying that people, much like myself, would think like, well, the event's over.
No, there's so much to do.
Yeah. So.
Years ago, I worked for the Scottish
So good.
Highland Games in New Hampshire. I worked for them, and I was also shocked at how much work there was after the games.
Right.
I thought, we're done. I was like, no, you're halfway through.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of work involved, both ends of organizing some kind of event, for sure.
Interesting. I've thought that.
So happy to be working with Eva on that though, and her yarn is beautiful, just beautiful.
It is. Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
And 2 weights, like you said, DK and 4-ply. What else do we have, Maggie?
So we have introduced. Look at you. We have introduced to the shop Einband, which is from Lopi.
It's their lace weight.
Yeah. So good for shawl knitting, but also really good to hold with either Plotulopi or Letlopi, and you get a lovely little marling effect.
Right, the book that we just had quite a few pairings.
Yeah,
What was
this
the name of
year's
that book?
it's this year's Lopi lookbook.
Yeah.
And there was quite a bit of marling in it, and it really popped. Looks really great. So there are still a couple of issues of the lookbook available that won't be available. I think that those are limited release. So if that's something you'd like to add to your knitting
It's done very
library,
well.
Yeah.
So
great.
let's show some colors.
Sure.
So I'm holding 0709. It's a navy, dark navy blue.
And this one's like a smoky blue. It's 008.
Lopi doesn't tend to give the same colors and different weights the same number, so you do need to know the specific number for the weight. 0059 is a very dark black. It's dyed black, not natural by the looks of it.
853, which is a nice brown.
Oops,
Light heathering.
This here is 1767. I pulled off the thing as it came out. Oops.
Yes. I love this little lime green.
Yeah.
9268.
Gorgeous.
Really nice.
And then we've got a hunter orange here, which is 1766. We've been noticing these bright pops do really well.
They
too.
do. 852, which is a deep gray.
Look at the three you're holding together.
They're really nice.
Very nice.
I know there's a shawl that uses these. I think it's like the spring shawl.
Those three particular colors?
Or like it uses 3 colors. It's really pretty.
0851 is their cream. And let's tell them how many yards and whatnot. So this is a 50 gram, 273 yards. So for 100 grams, you would have well over 500 yards,
Yes.
525, something like that.
9281, which is this lovely blue.
1765, yellow.
0047, just a juicy red.
And this nice vibrant purple is 9044. It's showing up a little bit darker than it is in real life, I would say. Yeah, really good.
Really?
Right, so these are just in, not long, which we're happy to have. So now we have Alphas and
Letlopi and Plotulopi.
And
Yeah.
I think that's it.
If you want to see any specific color combos together, you can always email us.
Yes, at info
We're
at the
happy
Woolly
to help
Thistle.
you.
Yes, always, always, always.
So there we go.
Right.
You can find those now.
And this is very exciting.
This is very exciting.
show?
Yeah.
Maggie, are these all the colors that we got in this lovely new yarn?
We are getting a few more colors, but they're still in transit. They're due to arrive when we're done recording today.
Yes, so there we go. So we'll show you what we've actually taken receipt of. This is Darnie by Studio Donegal. We've had some requests to have this done.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We got a sample of it and we were like, oh, yeah, we need that.
Yes.
It's so nice. It is a fingering weight Tweedy yarn.
It's 100% lamb's wool, which is nice and soft, and it is very tweedy. This color here is 8804. And of course, Studio Donegal is from Ireland, so
yes,
we're very happy to have this here.
This one's 8805.
It's really nice.
It's got lovely, it's just so pretty.
And we heard from Jill, who's our customer service. If you've ever reached out, you'll have talked to Jill. She is knitting with Darnie off her own bat over there in Switzerland right now, and she's loving it.
It feels really nice.
It really.
I think this would make an amazing vanilla sweater.
Oh yes, it would.
8812.
And this
Nice
is a great color, 8808. Lovely flex in there. Yeah, this is let's see, 28 stitches per 4 inch. And how many? Did I say how many yards are in here? I can't remember now. It's 100 grams, 410 meters, which we need to. Is that like 437-ish?
Somewhere around there.
It's a fingering weight, so that's
this
that.
lovely charcoal gray
Yes.
is 8814.
That I love. I do love that. Yes.
I really like this orange.
Yeah.
8803.
All the Tweedy flex. And this is 8809, and it's sort of a navy blue, but it's got lovely.
I think that would make a pretty yoke sweater.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
This one is 8802.
And with the orange too, and that red is really nice.
Yeah, yeah, they're all really, really nice.
Those four.
There you go.
Perfect.
Get yourself a cozy shawl.
Yeah. Really lovely. So we hope that you're excited about this. This is a nice addition to the shop from Studio Donegal.
Yeah.
And of course we have their Irish heathers.
Yeah.
Is it Irish heathers or Irish tweed?
Irish heathers.
We have their Irish heathers, which is what I knitted my John Arbon in too. All right, what else do we want to talk about in the shop?
Those were Strands of Joy Volume 2 has released. We have a slight shipping delay. They should be out in the mail though by the time this airs.
It was the shipping delay to us.
Yes, they arrived late to us, but
we will
by
turn
the
them
time
around.
you're seeing this, they will be out in the mail.
So enjoy that.
You want to do one?
And then go to Rachel?
Yes.
Okay.
So the second winner today is at Nick Blue 32, which we can put here, and Nick Blue 32 says their name is Monisha. Hello. I'm planning to knit 1 pair of socks a month this year. I also decided to make the family, 2 adults, 1 child, matching holiday socks from last year's West Yorkshire Spinners holiday.
Great idea.
That is a very fun idea.
Yes.
Monisha, you have won a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle. If you can send us an email at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps, and we will get you your gift card.
Which is great and exciting. Congratulations. And if you'd like to be in the running to win a gift card or something else from the Woolly Thistle, like what could we send? So many things. Then just leave us a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our channel. That helps other people find us, which is what it's all about. So thank you for that. So let's go to Rachel, and then when we come back from Rachel, we will probably have more to blather on about, and then we'll go and visit with Marie. But Rachel is our friend up in the Fair Isle in Shetland, and she has a very full episode for us this time. So enjoy your time with her, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hello Woolly Thistlers, it's Rachel from Barkland Croft here in Fair Isle. Thank you so much for all the comments in my last couple of videos for the Woolly Thistle. I really do appreciate them and your support. and I had a couple of questions, so I thought I'd just answer those now. One of them was, what inspired you to move to Fair Isle and then to stay there? Well, I originally came to Fair Isle in 2014 to do a season working as the assistant cook at the Bird Observatory. So that was from sort of, I think it was May to end of October, beginning of November time. And after that period I had nothing else lined up. And whilst I was here on the Isle, obviously got to know everyone pretty quickly given how small the Isle is. And people started saying, well, you know, have you thought about moving here? The house that I now live in was actually belonged to the cook and her family when I was working at the observatory, and they were in the process of leaving the Isle, so the house and the croft became vacant. And so it was never, I always feel like I disappoint people when I say this, but it was never my dream to move to a remote island to take on sheep or anything like that. It just happened to be a good opportunity at the time that was too good to pass up on, really. And what's kept me here, financial reasons, to be honest with you. It's really not an easy life, and I do not mind hard work at all. I've worked hard all my life. I don't, you know, looking after the sheep is kind of, yes, it's physically hard, but that's the best bit about living here, is the sheep. It's dealing with people, dealing with the island politics, all that kind of thing that is the really hard part of living here. And it does get to you year after year after year. So what keeps me here? Yes, you know, there are plenty of days when I would love to pack my belongings and leave, but I can't afford, you know, there's no way I can afford to take me and my sheep off the Isle and find somewhere else to stay. It's just not, you know, financially viable. So for the time being, we're stuck here, and that's pretty much what keeps me here. And following on from that, one of the comments I did have in one of my recent videos, after showing all the damage that had been done by the gales, someone had said, you know, did I think it was time to leave? Yes, it is time to leave. It has been for a long time, but again, it's purely finances. To give you an example of the kind of money I would need to have for me to get something, so similar sized house, similar acreage of land, outbuildings. In England, just recently, a smaller house than I have, smaller acreage of land, and I think about the same number of outbuildings came up onto the market, and that was just shy of £1 million. Scotland is cheaper. Shetland is probably the cheapest of all, but even here in Shetland, to take on a croft and house of the similar size, you're looking at £350,000. The Western Isles are a bit more expensive. You're looking at probably around £400,000. Scottish mainland, upwards of £500,000. If obviously that's to buy. If I was to look at somewhere for renting, the same kind of thing that I have here, even in sort of the cheapest parts of Scotland and the Isles, for this sort of size land and house, you're looking at over £1,000 a month, and I don't even earn that as it is here, so there's no hope for me. So I just thought I'd do you a quick update about the damage and repairs here, since a lot of you have been asking. The boiler got fixed, the plumber came in, so I have hot water and central heating again, which is great. He also managed to fix the flush on my loo, so after several months I now have a loo that flushes, which again is great. Unfortunately, the trust say their position is that the greenhouse and garage that all of the windows blew out of are outbuildings, and apparently they're not responsible for them. So seeing as I pay them to rent all of this, I'm not sure who is responsible for them, but it seems to be they're saying it's my responsibility. So we'll have to go back to the drawing board on that one. But the major things in terms of inside the house, they are thankfully all fixed, which is great. And I can't believe it's been a year since I started up my Patreon and sheep adoption schemes, and I really can't thank you all enough for the support you have given me and the sheep over the past year, and to Corinne and Maggie for allowing me to use this as a platform to kind of share those options. And I just wanted to give you an update on the sheep adoption scheme. So many of you adopted sheep around about this time last year, and originally I'd said the adoptions would run sort of on an annual basis, so you would adopt sheep and that period would last for 1 year. However, it's taken me so long to make the update videos for your sheep that I'm completely behind schedule. So I just wanted to let you know, because I've had a few questions emailed to me about this. If you currently have a sheep adoption, say from March or April, whenever last year, and you think it's about to end, it's not. Don't worry. I'm going to carry them all on until you have received your last update video. So given how long it's taken me, that's probably going to be another few months' time. But I'll be sure to keep you updated, and when I send you your last update video for your sheep, I'll be sure to let you know what the options are for if you want to adopt another sheep or re-adopt that same sheep or whatever. So don't panic, I will keep you updated, but for now your adoptions are still ongoing until you get the last video update from your sheep. One thing that I haven't spoken about for quite a while now is knitting, and do you know what, I just haven't been knitting. I know that's an awful thing to admit and I should hang my head in shame, but I was having this conversation with a friend in Shetland who's also a knitter a while ago, and we were both just saying we just kind of lost our knitting mojo for a while. And it's not that I've had nothing to knit. I've had several projects that I've got, and I've got the patterns for, I've got the yarn for, I'm literally ready to go, and they're all things that I want to knit. I just haven't really been feeling in the mood for it. Until I saw, I think it was a couple of shopcasts ago, and Maggie had knit a gorgeous cosy looking pair of socks, which I think she'd used West Yorkshire Spinners sock yarn held double, and she sort of held them up and taught them, and they just looked so warm and cosy and lovely. And I thought, do you know what, it wouldn't take me long to knit a pair of socks. And so I had a look through my stash, and I actually found an old ball of, it's not the same colourway that Maggie used, but it is a West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's their Hollyberry colourway. So it's another one of their kind of festive yarns that they put out. And this is I can't even see, 4-ply. So that's a 4-ply. Socks that I've knit in the past, I quite like knitting with Aran weight yarn. It just makes it go a bit quicker. So what I did was I held this double with a bit of leftover Beecroft Busby yarn that I had from a couple of years ago, and I knit these kind of chunky looking socks. So I'm really pleased with them. They are so warm, and it's probably just as well we don't have smelly vision, because I've been wearing these as bed socks for the last week or so, and they've kept my feet so toasty and warm at night. So thank you for inspiring me, Maggie. And since then I have cast on another project. I don't know if you'll be able to see the printout isn't very good, but this one is called the Murray Star and it's by Di Gilpin. And I got this pattern years ago, sort of as a pattern kit with the yarn as well. And when it came, I didn't realise before I bought it, but the pattern is only for one size. It was only ever written for one size for a 36-inch bust. And I thought, well, there's no hope me fitting into that. So it kind of got put in a bag for a while. And then a couple of years, maybe a bit longer ago, I saw in the Knitter magazine, they did a feature about it and they rewrote the pattern for, I think it's about 6 different sizes now, which is fantastic. So I needed to order a bit extra yarn, but hopefully it'll all match up. And I've made a start, and the yarn I'm using is this Storm Petrol colourway. Hopefully you can see that. And it's Di Gilpin's own Laland yarn, which is 100% Scottish lamb's wool, and it's a DK weight. And I am on the rib, and the rib has to be 14 centimetres deep. I think this has taken me about 2 weeks so far. I am such a slow knitter, well, at the best of times, but especially on switching between knit to purl. Oh, it takes me, I think this has taken me about 2 weeks just to get this far, and I still have about 4 centimetres to go yet. I was so tempted to do the rib on my ribbing attachment for my knitting machine, but the yarn, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Oh, I'm just throwing it on the floor now. It's very, very loosely plied, and I'm finding it's lovely knitted up, it's lovely, it's beautifully soft, but it splits quite a lot. And so when I tried to put it through my knitting machine and ribbing attachment, the whole thing just mangled up into a tangle. So I've had to do it by hand. So it's a good lesson in patience. Well, March got off to a beautiful start with a sunny day here in Fair Isle, and how glad we were for it. Here's Patchwork. She doesn't normally live in this field, but she's come over because she has an abscess on her back hoof there, or just above the hoof. So she's getting medication, and she's much better now. Now we've got Brownie behind her. Naughty boy Busby patrolling the fence, looking for any ways he can get in. There's Sandy, she's my blind yow. She's doing brilliantly. And one of the hens stopped by to say hello too. If you look very closely, you can just see the grass starting to grow. I can't tell you how excited I am at that, and Meg too by the looks of things. So yes, hopefully all we need now is a lot more sunshine and some dry days. Sadly, that wasn't meant to be, and it looked like our day of sunshine was a one-off as we went back to several days of rain and gales. However, it wasn't too long before we got another absolutely beautiful day. Just look at it. The sheep were all enjoying it. You can see them all lying down and sunbathing. There's Patchwork saying hello. Steaming up the camera. And look what's appeared. The first frog spawn in the pond. So that's very exciting. That always makes me feel like spring must be here.
I definitely made the most of that day, as the following day, you've guessed it, the weather turned again. Thankfully, it wasn't too long before we got another lovely day, and Ruffalo decided to accompany me out into the fields to check on the sheep. It's been a long time since she's been out with me. Here's Miss Marple taking great interest in Ruffalo, trying to eat her tail by the looks of things. My first daffodils bloomed, but as so often happens, as soon as they come into flower, we get gales and they get knocked down. So I bring them inside and it's lovely to watch them bloom on the windowsills. Just as the weather was looking like it was improving and spring was here, we got a day of snow showers. Would you believe it? Thankfully it didn't last though, but then we got loads of rain and all the fields, which had been really starting to dry out and harden up, went back to a mud bath. Ugh, feels like it'll never end. On a completely different note, you may have heard me talk about my sister. She and her husband live in Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, and just a couple of weeks ago she got her American citizenship. So I'm really pleased for her, and huge congratulations to you, Alex. I got sent a little lamb toy for Easter. So here's Rosebud and her new friend wishing you all a very happy Easter, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our visit with Rachel. She really is living she's living the life up there, but it is tough. And so while we can all enjoy her postcards, I think we can also feel for her how close to the bone it must feel sometimes and really hard going, but she loves her sheep and that's very important to her too. So thanks for sending that in, Rachel. I always enjoy getting your postcards. So Maggie, what do we want to talk about? I think we wanted to talk about the Shawl KAL a little bit, which just cast on Friday, so a week ago from when you're seeing this. And thank you for casting on with us. We're going to be doing a Zoom call tonight, I think.
Yes, we are.
So we didn't do it last weekend because it was Easter and people might be traveling or, doing things. So we're doing it tonight. And if you have signed up for the KAL, you will get an invite to that. I think in future we should start getting RSVPs just to make sure we have enough space in the Zoom call so that everyone who wants to come can come. But we haven't done that this time. So just show up if you have got the invite, and I hope that we should have enough room for everybody, for sure. So yes, it's a 6-week KAL, Maggie. We do this every year pretty much, and I am already way ahead as we discussed, and you're right at the beginning, which is great. I think because it's a 6-week KAL and you can knit any shawl or hap that you want, feel free to jump in, even if you're feeling a wee bit late. You do have to go sign up, and that way you'll get the invite to our Zoom call, but go do that if you'd like to. We'd love to have you knitting along. And I liked what we did last time on our Zoom call. We did a sort of show and tell from everybody, so I think that would be fun. So bring your knitting with you, obviously, and you can show us what you're knitting, and that would be really fun. Tell us all about it, what yarn you're using, that sort of thing. We just asked that most of the yarn you're knitting with is from the Woolly Thistle at some point. So that would be great. So I'm looking forward to that tonight.
Sign up for the KAL is free, and it is on the website. You can find that there. When you sign up, we will give you we will email you a PDF called Wrapped in Wool, and it is our TWT guide to shawl knitting. Yes,
and we worked very hard on this, didn't we? So yes, props to everybody who worked hard on that here at the shop. But you get that free with your signing up, and also you get a discount on the Hap Exploration if you so choose to purchase that. That was a series of interviews with some wonderful Shetland people who are very knowledgeable about the Haps. So that is really nice too. I can't remember exactly what the discount is, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get that on signing up too. So come knit with us. We have a fair few people signed up to knit with us. It should be really fun. And I'm stoked.
Yeah, it'll be really good. There are some prizes that we're offering for the Shawl KAL.
Yes.
Including a $75 gift card to the Woolly Thistle. A Highland Thistle shawl set and pattern donated by designer Carolyn Holbrook.
Thank you, Carolyn.
And 3 lucky winners each will receive a skein of Rambler.
Yes, which is excellent. So, yes, come knit with us. Knit for the camaraderie, for the community, for the getting a shawl knitted, and for prizes and all that kind of stuff. It's really good fun. I'm sure the prize fairy will be zipping in and out as well. Yes. That's something I'm very proud of, is that we do have a little Tinkerbell who sprinkles prize dust every once in a while, very randomly. To those of you who are chit-chatting away, to the chatty Cathys, we try to encourage that. So get in there and get talking. I love it. We're doing the KAL in Ravelry and on Facebook. One another is fine, or both is okay too. And just get in there. It's fun. Yeah, we really enjoy it. So I think we're going to finish up this episode with my interview with Marie Wallin, where she's going to take us through the gorgeous patterns. It's a whole collection with a book, with yarn, and we'll have kits as well. They're coming soon enough. Maggie, do you have the actual dates that things are going live for folks?
So the book and the yarn will be available on April 12th.
Right.
Which is next Friday.
Right.
And then the kits will be available, I believe, on April 26th.
Correct. So throughout April, we will be releasing the things, and we are so excited. April's going to be all about Marie Wallin and socks and shawls, and life has never been better. I think I'm just happy that the cold weather is moving on. I'm ready for spring and lots of knitting, which is fantastic. And of course, we all know and love Marie Wallin, but if you're new and you don't know who Marie Wallin is, she is a very wonderful and experienced designer. She used to be the head designer of Rowan, which is a huge house of yarn and various things. So she went off on her own several years ago now, and she lives in Yorkshire, on the Yorkshire Dales, and she designs beautiful designs. I think the big one that sort of launched was her book Shetland, which she did with Spindrift, and that's still available and still super popular because the patterns in that are just so knittable and lovely. But then she created her own yarn at John Arbon and has had huge success with that. And now that was her 4-ply, and now she has this Aran yarn, which is a worsted weight. Gotta remember to say that because I don't want anyone getting confused.
Yes.
And so this is the launch of that new yarn with a whole new collection of beautiful knits. There's 2 that I strongly want to knit, and maybe 3 because there's a vest in there as well. And we have a vest KAL coming up, which we'll start telling you about soon. But so we're very excited. We know you're going to be excited too. So enjoy my interview with her, going through all her designs. And I think after that is just a fond farewell till next time. So as we like to say in Scotland, cheerio. But Maggie, all that's left to say is, if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye. Hello, everyone. I am thrilled to be here with Marie Wallin once again. You're here to show us your new collection, your new yarn, and your new book. And so we have a lot to talk about, but just thank you so much for spending time with us again. I know my customers and viewers love watching these videos and getting an insider's view of your new design. So thanks for joining us.
Oh, well, thanks for inviting me. I always love coming along and having a chat with you. So it's a big pleasure for me.
And well, thank you for being here. And I feel very lucky that I've had a preview of this new yarn and collection. And I think we just get right into it, Marie.
Yeah, sure.
Your new yarn is called Aran, the mulberry color. Do you want to tell us about this?
Well, yeah, because it was I hadn't really had any plans on making the British breeds family any bigger, so to speak. But when I was designing Cumbria and Westmoreland, well, it was actually just one. I was only planning to do one collection at the time. It's just that I had too many designs to go into one book, so that's why they were split into two. But obviously I was introducing menswear into the collection, and I wanted to do some heavier weight sort of stitch designs. So I decided to knit the design swatches using two ends of British Breeds together. And I just really loved the handle and look of the actual fabric, because it was the stitch definition was so good on it.
Yeah.
And so obviously, and now you're going to test my memory, but in like Westmoreland, there's Grassmore, which has got the two ends of British Breeds, and that's in Cumbria. In Westmoreland, there's Helvellyn. Yeah. So obviously, though, when you knit two ends of a finer yarn together to make a thicker fabric, you end up using more yarn. It's more expensive. So because I really liked it, I thought, well, why not develop an Aran weight version in British Breeds? So I just got in touch with Sonia and Helena at the John Arbon mill, and we developed the Aran, which is literally is equivalent to two ends of British Breeds together. So it's literally twice as thick. So it's got the same meterage as the standard yarn, but obviously on a 50-gram ball, not on a 25-gram.
Right, exactly.
And a donut rather than a 3-cross ball. So
the original 4-ply was actually 2 plies plied together, and your new Aran yarn is 2 balls, 2 plied together.
So it's got 4 plies, if you like.
And it's actually you've called it Aran, implying that it's Aran weight. Is that?
Yeah, it's more of a standard British Aran weight. So
which is sort of a US worsted weight.
So it's knitted on a British sort of standard weight is normally knitted on a 4.5 or 5 millimeter needle. This is knitted on 4.5 millimeter.
Nice.
So I suppose it's slightly finer than some Arans, and so it's slightly finer than your worsted weights, I think, isn't it?
So it's about 93 yards per 50, which would be 186 yards per 100 grams. And I believe a very standard worsted weight is actually about 200.
It's slightly thicker then.
It's slightly thicker. I think it's about 220.
Slightly thicker.
Yeah. But it's got a lovely feel to it. And it's exactly the same for British Breeds that go into it. It's the same.
Yeah, exactly. It is exactly the same. I mean, with it 4 ends together, it's slightly more of a rounded yarn. I would have sort of like described it as, and it's sort of, I mean, the standard yarn is quite bouncy, quite springy, but with it actually being that bit thicker, it's a bit springier as well. I mean, you can feel that when you actually sort of handle it. It's
it's got nice bounce.
It's got that bouncy, springy feel to it. So
and the yarn itself is very round, which wearing a cabled cardigan from the collection, and those are really popping.
So the stitch definition on it is really, really good. So So
how many colors?
There's 12 colours, and I deliberately took them out of the British Breeds range. I didn't really want to do completely new colours. Really. Yeah, basically because it's a new yarn, and I think people and also gives people the opportunity, if they did want to add another colour into it, then they could use 2 ends of the actual yarn, to complement it as well. So that flexibility. It's that flexibility to it as well. So initially launching with 12 colours, basically because it's a new yarn and it's a big investment for me. So and I've picked the 12 colours which I thought I could do some good Fair Isle designs with, as well as the individual colours being great for plain work as well. So
fantastic. So tell us about your new collection, which is also called Aran. Tell us about that.
Well, the new collection is really basically sort of inspired by, it's probably a lot more traditional then it's probably harking back to really sort of the traditional motifs that I did in Shetland. So there's a bit of ornamental designs. The stitches are very much sort of like traditional cable-y type, fisherman type stitches, that type of thing. So yeah, so there's 12 designs within the book. There's 10 garments and 2 accessories, and it's all for women's wear. So I'm sorry about the men losing out on this one. But I'll also, the 2 menswear designs that are in, well, the one in Cumbria and one in Westmoreland, I will release the patterns for, or the yarn amounts for those both designs in the Aran. So then people can then, you can, if they've got the book, they can still use that same pattern, but obviously just use the one end of the Aran. So,
no, that's a great idea.
I'll release the yarn amounts for those. But yeah, so going back to the collection, and I wanted to make them a lot more. I'm going through because I'm 60 this year.
Congratulations! You don't look it at all.
I feel it some days. I'll tell you about it. You didn't see me yesterday. I went out for a run and I was completely and utterly exhausted.
Oh my gosh, but getting out for a run at all is pretty good. So, well, happy birthday when it comes. When is your birthday?
It's not till August. It's not till August. But I'm sort of going through, everything's got to be comfortable, everything that. So I've decided, the designs are very much more easy to wear. There's only a couple of fitted designs in there. So they're either sort of semi-fitted or really quite, sort of like just cozy, like the cardigan I've got on now,
which is so easy to wear, right?
Yeah, and you can just literally throw them on over whatever you're wearing, really, and hopefully they'll complement everything you're wearing. So that was the main thing about that, and because of that, I've sort of like combined sizes together. So like in my standard books, you would have a small, medium, large, extra, so on. So in this collection, it's small / medium, large / extra. So they're like double because of that sort of sizing, really.
Right.
That's
great.
it, really. I mean, I can talk through each of the designs.
Yes, for sure. We would love to do that. Let's have a look at all the different designs. Do you want to see the one you're wearing though, because it's so?
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, that would help if I went. So this is called Bambara. If I stand up,
it's lovely. I love that it's 2 different motifs.
Yeah, what it is, it's got the sort of fairly traditional cables. But it's got 2 different cables on the front, and there's a different cable on the back. Okay. Gorgeous. And then the 2 sleeves. So the pattern that's on that side is on that sleeve. The pattern that's on that side is on that sleeve.
What a fun knit.
Yeah, I've got my sleeves rolled up at the minute. I'm a bit because I'm working, so sort of like. But so yeah. So and it's just, and it's the shape is it's the usual shape that I do. So it's got no back neck, so it sort of rides up. So it's just really flattering to wear over a dress or just with a top.
Could you imagine a nice silhouette, plain dress underneath with that? Of course, with it being cables, that's very friendly for knitting back and forth. Which I'm assuming you do knit this in pieces.
Yes, this is knitted flat.
So that's the reason I do like cables, is it doesn't matter which direction you're in.
That's right. So but and then obviously if you want it to fasten it, then just fasten it with a nice pin, that type of thing. So.
It's lovely. Very nice. So this is the Bambara. Is Bambara a town in
well, that's good. Let me talk about that. So I decided I went to Northumberland last year in May with a friend, and we went walking along the coast and went up to Holy Island on Lindisfarne. It's just such a lovely area, and I just thought, I'm going to have to do a shoot here. So and that's what we did. So we went up to Northumberland, so at the beginning of February, went up to Northumberland, and we stopped there for a week. We stayed in a little fishing village called Craster, which was just so lovely. And that's home to, there's a really famous smokehouse there. And so it's smoked for the kippers. So it's very famous for its kippers and the smoked fish. So it's even King Charles gets his kippers from there. So
oh my,
yeah,
I don't
and
know.
I must admit, and they were so nice.
My dad used to have kippers on a Sunday morning, and I'm not sure if Americans know what kippers are, but it's
smoked herring.
yeah, smoked herring. It smells really good for
Yeah,
fishing.
I would say that it was just so nice, and they do smoked salmon as well, and smoked mackerel, and it was some of the nicest
I
smoked
bet. Well, just so
salmon
fresh.
that I've ever had, to be honest. It was so nice. And anyway, they do a mail order service, so I will be back. Yeah, and it's really good for you. So there you go.
Yeah.
So we stopped there. I hired a house there, and we stopped there. And myself, Mark, my husband, my 2 dogs, and Moy, the photographer, we went there on the Friday, and we spent Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday just going around looking at different locations to photograph.
Yeah.
And then Georgia and Francis. So Francis is my friend who does my hair and makeup, and Georgia's obviously the lovely model.
Yep.
And they arrived on the Monday evening, and then we photographed on the Tuesday and Wednesday. And the weather was atrocious, to be honest. It was, it was so windy, and it was just so cold. I mean, poor Georgia in some of the pictures was just, some of the shots was just frozen. And she does have, hopefully you can't notice, but she has got 2 hot water bottles stuffed stuff again.
In some of the photos?
Yeah.
What about it? That's hilarious.
Got one on a back, one on a front.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I know. Yeah.
So the wind was blowing, it was raining, it was
raining, snowing. There's a shot, which is the next one I'm going to show you, which is called Barrack, which is one of my favourite shots because it's shot on the causeway, because there's a causeway from the mainland to Holy Island, which is obviously you can only drive across, obviously, when the tide has gone out. And it's such an atmospheric area, and I mean the pictures are absolutely gorgeous. I really like them, but it was snowing at the time. I mean, it was coming horizontal through. I mean, it was just so cold, and I mean the wind wasn't as bad then, but yeah, it was pretty bitter.
February
really
in England.
Yeah. February on the Northumberland coast, yes.
Yeah. And Lindisfarne is very famous. I think that's where, now you're going to have to remind me, but isn't that
St. Cuthbert.
St. Cuthbert arrived for Christianity to England.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it's a very special place. Again, very atmospheric and stuff. So but yeah, no, it was good. And we enjoyed it. So
let's have a look at that next one you want to show us.
So consequently, each of the designs are named after a town or village on the Northumberland coast. So going back to this, Bamborough is famous for its castle. There's a really beautiful castle, Bamborough Castle, and it's famous for its beach. The beach is gorgeous at Bamborough. You can walk for miles and miles, and the dogs absolutely love it. So that's great. So this is Barrack. So this is the one that's shot on the causeway.
Yeah.
So again, this is the same sort of style as what I'm wearing here, but it's a combination of stitch. So it's a twisted stitch. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's lovely.
So it's just twisted. So it's in a geometric type of pattern, really.
Yeah.
And then it's got the ferrule border.
So you must pick up stitches and then knit that.
So this is all knitted in the round.
Okay.
So it's knitted in the round with steeped armholes and a steeped centre front. Yep. So the whole body is knitted in the round. So if you could, but it's got, can you see that? Yeah. So it's got a stepped.
Yes.
Well, so the body is all knit. So here, oh gosh. So the body is sort of like knitted flat like that,
Okay.
all in the round.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you steek it, and then you pick up the front bands from really the top of that feral border,
Yeah.
and then the bands are knitted flat.
Yeah.
And then it's they're joined at the back neck like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
With the
that really
shoulder.
shows you the way you do the neckline.
So it's got no back neck again, like
Yeah.
the others.
It's lovely.
And then the sleeves are then knitted top down.
So you pick up your
Picked up
stitch
from the steek, yeah.
Okay.
And then the final thing you do is do the rib all the way around the garment.
Yeah.
So all the way around, because it's got mitring on the corners.
Right. Yeah,
So,
that's a lot,
yeah.
but you're at
Yeah.
the very end by the time you're doing that.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So that's another cozy sort of.
And that one again is called?
That's Berwick, named after Berwick upon Tweed, which is the most northerly town in England. So
Yeah, just
really
over that is
Scotland.
exactly it's Scotland. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got an immense history because it has been fought over by the English and the Scottish over
Yeah, does
hundreds of years.
Hadrian's Wall actually go through?
Yeah, it's all from there, yeah.
I never knew this growing up in Scotland, but apparently Hadrian's Wall was built by the Romans to keep the Scots out of England. And I didn't know that. I thought it was a protective thing to protect Scotland from, but actually the Romans did not want to deal with the Scottish people.
No, absolutely not. They're very, very fierce.
Yeah, they were, right. So I thought that was funny when I finally learned that.
Yeah. So the next one is another plain one, which is Cresta.
I love the texture of this.
Yeah. So again, this is a really nice wide shape. So it's actually, it's got extended armholes as well.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of fabric that's draped nicely.
This is knitted flat. So this is probably a little bit more complicated to knit, but it's sort of twisted stitch and a bit of lace, but it's only simple lace. It's not
lovely.
Yeah. I designed it, so it's not difficult lace. And then the sleeves are just is a simple sort of lacy, cabley.
Really nice. What's nice about these designs too is that the sleeves are starting far down the arm.
Yeah.
Now you don't have a lot of sleeves to knit really.
No, that's right. So, and also as well, you can try it on and make sure, if you've got to knit these a little bit shorter than you can do. It's not a major problem. And this has got tiny little bubbles on it. I don't know if you can.
Let's have a look.
Can you
there you go.
Yeah.
More texture.
So they're done with it just adds texture, but they're done with a crochet hook, but it's all sort of explained in the actual pattern. So, but really easy to do. So
yeah, I love it. I really like that.
That's Cresta. So that's named after the little fishing village we stopped in. Right, the next one. Oh, this one's a fitted one, and this is Anik.
Gorgeous.
So this is a little cardigan, which has got a sort of, what do you call it, an extended front, I suppose. So I don't know if you can.
So it crosses over maybe?
Yeah, so you can either wear it loose, or you can just cross it over and with a pin.
And all over color work. I think people will be excited to do your designs in a heavier weight yarn because it is less knitting and you're going to end up with such a beautiful finished object.
Yeah. And this one is knitted flat.
Yeah.
But you could knit it in the round by adding sticks where the armholes, and but with it being all the shaping on the front,
you have to understand what you're doing.
Yeah, you have to make sure you know what you're doing really.
Well, if you're going to knit back and forth in color work, again, better to do it with a thicker weight yarn.
Yeah. Because you've got less rows.
Yeah. It's lovely. Worth the effort.
Pardon?
I was just saying it's worth the effort. Yeah.
So that's that. This one is one of my favorites. This is Farn, which is the all over Far Isle, all completely knitted in the round.
Yeah, nice yoke sweater. Lovely.
Yeah, which is again very sort of like more traditional motifs, bit of ornamental design.
So pretty
Um,
though.
Yeah, and that's
How
again
long,
named.
how long did it take you to design this collection? Are you always designing,
Actually,
or do you
no,
do it?
actually not that long, because I wanted to start designing sort of earlier on last year in this collection, but I actually didn't start designing it till probably September
Wow. And it's
or
only March
October.
now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So inspiration struck for sure.
yeah, it was just such a busy year last year. So yes. So
Beautiful. And this
I
one again is
originally I was only going to do 8 designs, but I got carried away.
the 12. So what is this one called again? I just want to make
This
sure.
is Farne.
Farne. Okay.
Farne, named after the Farne Islands. So
Yep.
yeah, so the
Gorgeous.
Farne Islands are a group of islands off the Northumberland coast, which are it's just a national nature reserve, really.
Yeah.
Very important for breeding seabirds and seals and stuff. So that's that. Oh, this is a nice one as well. This is knitted flat. This is amble.
Gorgeous.
Wallin Aran.
Yeah.
Knitted flat, but it's got a saddle shoulder, so it's really quite
I like
flat.
that. Yes, that's nice.
So
And it's not going to bunch up under your arm.
yeah, it's not going to bunch up over your arm, and plus the pattern obviously continues up
Oh,
over
very nice.
your
Yes.
shoulder.
Yes, I
So-
think anyone knitting this will feel very clever at getting that
Yes.
gorgeous
Yeah,
design.
yeah, but it's quite easy. So it's quite wide, but the
Uh-huh.
sleeves are a little bit more fitted on this, because I do
Yeah.
like a fitted sleeve
Yeah.
with
The
a
box
wide
here with,
sleeve.
yes,
Yeah.
beautiful,
So that's that.
gorgeous.
That's that. Oh, this is Boodle, which is the really sweet little slip over.
Gorgeous. That is
Yeah.
very cute.
So
We are-
that's knitted in the round
Yeah.
up till the armholes, but then you'll have to go flat on the armholes.
Okay.
You could, in theory, stick. The reason I've not steeked it is because I think the steek seam would be too thick next to the
Yeah.
armholes.
Yeah. So
So
that's okay. A little bit of back and forth.
yeah. So I mean, if you did want to steek it, you could do, but you've just got to bear that in mind when you
Right.
come to the steek. But that's the main reason I've not written the pattern
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just in the round up to the armholes.
I
And
love
this
it.
is like a little bit easier
It's adorable. It's
and
so
simpler
cute.
pattern. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really cute.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
And I guess you could extend the length if you wanted. If
You
wanted
could, because it's
longer.
quite a short one, it's quite cropped, so you
Yeah.
could easily, you know, what I would do if you wanted to be a bit longer, you could well, you would start with this pattern, so you would start there if you like,
Right. Okay.
then up to there, and then start there. So you're adding on a whole
Yeah.
repeat, if you like. So
Yeah.
it's quite easy to
Yeah.
add to make longer if you wanted it longer.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're getting a nice viewing of the colors that are in this collection too, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I've seen O'Donnell and Blossom and Silver
Yeah,
Birch.
Shawl KAL, Silver Birch, O'Donnell, Mallard. Yes. So the next one is, now this is a design sea houses, which is in two styles. So you've got the cardigan, which is this one here,
So
and then
cute.
there's a sweater as well.
Yeah.
So knitted in the round. So this is knitted in the round with steeked front.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make it look a little bit different than just having a conventional just button band. So
I
that's
love
why
what you've done.
it's got the wider, so it's got
Yeah.
a border literally, so that it's the
Yeah.
same on the border there, which
Yeah.
runs up the
That
center.
is gorgeous. That's such a nice.
Yeah.
I'm also noticing that you're edging with a contrast color as well,
Yes, yeah.
which is really
Just-
attention
just makes-
getting. I like it.
Yeah, just sort of like, yeah, just makes a little bit different really.
Yeah.
And then the slip over version, sorry, the sweater version, not the slip over version, is this here.
Oh,
So
it's
it's
lovely.
exactly the same pattern, but in a different colorway.
Yeah.
So you could do the cardigan in this colorway and vice versa. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
This is
whatever.
so pretty too. Yeah. I
Yeah.
really like them.
And
Gorgeous.
sort of just knitted in the round.
Yeah. Well done.
Quite
Really
straightforward,
nice.
just the yoke. Yeah.
Did you find it challenging at all to be designing motifs in a bigger in a bigger motif, I guess, in a bigger because you
I thought I would do. I thought I wouldn't enjoy it as much, but to be honest, no, I didn't really. No, not really.
yeah.
I thought, because like the designs in the standard yarn are a lot more. They look a lot more complicated design-wise and stuff, and I honestly did think that, well, these are just going to look too simplistic, and I wasn't 100% sure it was going to work in Fair Isle initially.
Right.
But as
think
soon
it
as I
does,
started
though.
designing and knitting it, I just thought, oh yes, this is going to work, and it looks really good. So
It
yes,
really
I'm
does. It's very, very lovely.
pleased. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it feels more accessible too, for knitters who maybe are afraid to knit a Marie Wallin color work because, looking at the model behind you, you can see just
yeah,
how
well,
much,
exactly. Yeah, you
right?
can see.
And that could be scary for someone who is not,
Yeah.
not
Well,
feeling
these are definitely simpler to knit.
right. Yeah, it's much, very approachable.
Some respects. So yes.
Do you have to catch floats on the back in in all of them?
Yes, it's exactly the same. So obviously in the standard yarn, I say don't float over more than 5 stitches, and on the Aran, I say no more than 4.
Okay.
Really.
Not a huge
And then the steek stitches, if you're going to steek, and the patterns in the book that are steek, use 7 steek stitches instead of 9 that I normally use on the standard yarn.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
So, but what's good in the book, there's obviously there's a steeking feature in the book, but there's also links to 3 videos that I've done to show you each of the 3 methods of steeking as well. So
that's awesome.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And then the last garment is Seaton, which is the front cover on the book.
I love this. Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah. I love it. So it's cropped, but it's really
wide. Cropped but wide.
Yeah.
As you say, and it's just so nice to wear. I love wearing this.
Yeah.
Again, it is knitted in the round.
It is?
With steeped armholes.
Oh, fantastic.
So the sleeves are knitted top down.
And and the sleeves look a little bit slimmer, so you're getting that nice boxy body with the slimmer.
Yeah, they're not quite as fitted as on Amble, but yeah.
Oh, I love
again, it's a simpler net design, so it's easy to follow. Again, if you did want to make it longer, you can easily make it longer by just repeating one of the patterns.
So I think my 2 that I have to knit right away will be what you're holding up and what you're wearing. I love both of them really, really.
Yeah.
But I love all the designs. They're all really gorgeous, and I think you've hit it out the park with this collection. You always do. But I think for a new yarn and everything, that this really does show how great it is in your design.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. And then we've got a scarf, which is called Edmonton.
Lovely.
Which is a little bit more graphic, a bit more fun.
Yeah.
Sort of pattern. So this is knitted flat.
It is knitted flat.
You could knit it in the round, but again, you'd have the problem with the steep bit on the back, really.
Yeah.
So
but is it knitted? So it's knitted on
knitted
a short row. I know.
Yeah, in row.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of like going back to my standard yarn, normally I would do these double in the round, but obviously it'd just be too thick.
It'd be too thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
why.
have to
So it's a single.
But it would be a great project for practicing knitting Fair Isle flat. The rows aren't very long, and it's just one of these things that you pick up throughout the year, and at the end of the year, maybe you've knitted the whole thing, or maybe you do it a lot quicker. But
so that's, and it's a, it's a simple pattern to follow. So
pretty, really
quite straightforward.
Yeah.
And then we've got a hat, so little beanie hat.
Lovely.
So completely as the crown, you can see.
Yeah, very pretty.
So quite straightforward to do.
Yeah, I'm looking at the brim on it. Yeah, it's like a little star. Super.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a snowflake.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Is that everything? Is that the whole collection?
That's it. That's the whole 12 designs.
I am so excited for your collection, and as this is going out on YouTube, we are getting ready to launch when you launch as well. So
Yeah,
the way you're doing it, the book and Yarn by the Ball is going to be available, I think April 12th. And then a couple of weeks after that, we'll launch the kit.
Will be ready. Yeah.
And so that's really exciting. And I think to get a kit, I think we're going to do kits for the color work. And if you're wanting to knit what you're wearing or the other sweaters and cardigans that are one color, you can just pick your color and go back.
No, that's the reason. We won't be doing kits in the solid color garments because,
it's just easy to buy. Yeah,
exactly. It's easier people just to buy the yarn in the color they want.
Yeah, I think people are going to be really excited for this. It feels wonderful. And of course, the 4-ply is not going away. That is still
absolutely not. No.
Yeah, as recording this, we just got in our order from you for more of this. So that's more kits back in stock and everything.
Right.
Great. Your yarn has done so well here at the Woolly Thistle and your designs. So thank you for working with us.
That's all right. It's my pleasure.
Ours too. Are you taking a break from designing, or are you always designing? Are you going to be?
I'm just going to take a little break from designing. I will be doing the only main design I'll be doing this year would be Feral Club 10.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to change that how I do it, so make it a little bit different in some way. So I've got a few ideas, few thoughts about that.
Very busy for you. You're always on doing something or hosting retreats as well.
Yeah, well, I still do my weekend workshops here, which I do enjoy. So my first one was a couple of weeks ago. So we've got one in April, one in June, one in September, October, November, and then December. So,
lovely. Oh yeah, you're fully booked. That's great.
Yes. Yeah. So that's good. So
all right. Well, thank you so much for showing us everything, talking us through it. I wonder what everyone's favorites are. I would love to know. In fact, if you're watching this, leave a comment below letting us know which ones.
It'd be great. And I'd love to know how you feel about it, with it being a completely new yarn to us. That, it'd be great to have your feedback about it. So
I think it'll be great. So, well, thank you, Marie. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us again.
That's all right.
And
it's my pleasure.
Yeah, keep in touch and good luck
with this
launch.
Bye. Bye-bye.